Lost will testing and
So I have this recurring segment, as you know from hearing the intro just now, called Last Will and Testamentals. I'm not sure how it works, but the idea is I've got very specific goals and objectives for when I die. And I know...
Like you should.
Who doesn't, who wouldn't.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's important to me, of course, is the funeral itself and how that goes.
Right.
And I know you have some thoughts on what you don't like at funerals.
Well, first of all, funerals suck, right? It's not a fun thing.
Depends whose it is, I guess.
Yeah, even close, it's just not a great thing. Like, now that I'm older, I like weddings because it's like free beer and free food. I hated them when I was younger.
That's
now
true.
You get older, and unfortunately, as you get older, you start attending more funerals as life goes by.
That's true.
But, like, I say make it as fun as possible. I think the whole Irish thing is a great idea.
Yeah, the wake, absolutely.
I don't like, and I've just noticed at some funerals lately, that it's kind of cookie dough cutter.
So you're talking about the songs they play.
Oh, yeah. I get, and I love all the pictures of when they were younger, and it's always bittersweet, but I'll tell you, this song right now that drives me nuts, that everybody's playing
Which
at
one?
Weddings and funerals.
Weddings and funerals?
Yeah.
Surely there cannot be a crossover song.
And I don't know who the person is that does it. It's the Somewhere Over the Rainbow with the guy with the ukulele.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know the one. So I can see why that would be a good wedding song.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And everybody's using it, and it gets old, and it's stupid to me.
Little cliche, but at least it's not a long song.
But I've seen this at funerals lately. In the past, like 3 years.
He did die, I believe, of a heart attack, which should come as no surprise. But the fact that he's dead, I'm not sure it qualifies it enough.
Yeah.
So I guess what we should talk about is what songs they should play at our funerals.
They should play Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Hey, that's
that's
great.
the same song.
Oh. I think that's a great choice for a funeral. I was going to go with Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah, see, I think I want to go something a little more like the music that I liked, and it's going to be rock. I want like AC/DC or Metallica or something playing.
Okay.
And
I think,
who knows, I might be so old when that happens that it's classic, so it won't be... Grandma's not going to object to having Metallica at a funeral because my grandma's been dead a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thinking, at my mom's funeral, they played 3 versions of Amazing Grace. There was one that was played by a live bagpiper, and
that's okay because it's bagpipes.
Well, except that it's not an indoor instrument. It's an instrument that doesn't have an indoor voice, and it's really shrill. And
true.
There was another version of Amazing Grace played over the loudspeakers, and then there was a third version sung live by American Idol winner Blake Lewis's mother.
Oh.
Yes, my mom was a friend of Blake Lewis's mom.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knew. That was kind of a surprise.
No, it was a surprise because my mom only, my mom was very humble. She only talked about it every time anyone was near her.
Right.
And she probably only mentioned it to me 50 times.
I was going to say 46.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'm rounding.
Right.
I'm rounding.
Yep. I get it.
My mom is gone, so some of my memories are hazy.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. You know what it's like because you are also an orphan.
Yes.
You and I we're both orphans.
Yeah. Both orphans.
Yeah.
Technically. You think as a small child, oh, that's an orphan, but yeah, after both your folks are gone,
well,
orphan.
I don't think there's a statute of limitations.
No.
On orphanage.
No, I didn't realize that until it actually happened. So I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Easter's going to be different this year.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else would be a good song to play? I was thinking if you're going to do Amazing Grace, maybe do like a Skrillex remix.
Sure. And how about just one version? I think 3 different versions is unnecessary.
It's overselling it.
Yeah, funerals don't need a cheese factor to them. They just don't. Either it's going to be fun or cool, or it's going to be sad. Like, you might have like a really sad, long Catholic wedding. But there's
Okay.
no cheese involved. It's sad, it's long, it's old school, but they're not playing somewhere over the rainbow with the freaking ukulele.
No,
Because it just doesn't fit.
no. What would be
You know?
great is maybe play it with a mariachi band instead.
Yeah,
Or have a mariachi band play Stairway. See, if you want a nice long funeral
And serve tacos.
and serve tacos, I mean, you know how many more people would come to your funeral if you had a taco bar? And so I was thinking maybe The Song That Never Ends.
Yeah, sure, you could annoy people in your grave. I mean, it depends on who your friends are. Like, if I'm like 60 and I think I'll like my family and my friends, but if I was one of those that like couldn't stand them, it would be like a last like ha ha ha.
You turn crotchety in your old
It
age.
could be a possibility.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So what other songs would be good to play at a funeral? La Bamba comes to mind.
Baby Got Back.
Baby Got Back, especially if you died of any injury related to your back.
Right.
That would be,
Or a butt.
or a butt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are there any good cancer-themed songs? I mean, anything by Eminem would be good at a funeral, except the theme from 8 Mile, because that's actually a good song, and people would be like, huh,
It's
very
overplayed though. It's like
inspirational.
the Somewhere Over the Rainbow thing again. It's just way overplayed.
Yeah, I guess so.
Any like the new Cookie Monster death metal, I think would always be a winner.
You can't go wrong with Cookie Monster death metal or right.
Exactly. Prince, old school Prince.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. Maybe not that. It'd be too sad of a song.
That would be too sad, but you could go with any of the ones where it sounds like he's having sex with a Twinkie.
Right. Or like Alphabet Street. That was one that was like super funky. Maybe you want some funk.
Right before the
at your
buffet,
funeral. Funk at the funeral.
right before the buffet, they could play "Eat It" by Weird Al.
That's also a possibility.
Another one, "Bites the Dust," is a great idea for a funeral.
Right.
So people don't forget the theme of the day.
Yeah, Stairway to Heaven, of course,
Mhm.
naturally. That's always
Highway
good
to Hell?
before you go out for surgery too, stuff like that.
I think "Highway to Hell" is a great choice.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it kind of depends on the person, but I intend to go to hell because
Oh,
I want to see Elvis again.
okay. And quote me on this and remember this. So,
Okay.
Rebecca Black, Friday.
Oh,
Like 5 times in a row. Oh, when
Oh.
people come in to be seated, it's just on a constant loop of Friday and have it on a Friday.
Oh, that's the other thing is if you're going to have a funeral, you might as well have it at the least convenient time.
Yeah, and have the preacher quote it too. So he's like, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards. Church service, 10:30.
In the words of R. Black,
Right. And then have a special guest rapper behind the preacher
that
that goes in.
Yeah.
Yo, Jason J, he was a cool cat. Yo. And then, yeah,
Hmm.
have like a keyboard and stuff going. I mean, if you're going to do it live, you have to have a guest rapper
Well,
that nobody's ever heard of, but that means you're cool.
I think my funeral should be held live.
Right.
So, the music. Oh, of course you have to have live music.
Or they could use you like weekend at Bernie's and have you in the middle of the dance choreography.
I like it.
So like the casket opens, it's you, and then they have like those men that do the puppets, but they're all in black.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they can pull and move you around.
Oh, yeah.
And have you in the weekend at Bernie's suit and have like one of the 80s keyboard songs playing.
Sure, and someone has to have a keytar.
Right.
So I haven't said it since last year, but one of the important parts of my funeral is that I want to have my remains scattered, but I don't want to be cremated.
I want to be turned into a hologram.
That would be great. I should be in charge of the funeral as a hologram.
Yeah.
And what's great is we'll fix it in post, so everyone just has to sit there and assume something is happening and then, react accordingly, and then we'll just fix it in post.
Right, yeah. Like nobody actually saw it, but like
Right,
people on
or
TV
heard it.
will see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You just have a sign up at the funeral that says applause.
Please clap.
Right. At the funeral. Constantly.
Poor Jeb. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it was right at the end of his campaign. He was doing this.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about now.
Well, no, it's,
Yeah.
he's like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. Please clap. Oh, sorry, Jeb.
Yeah, that I think that would work. Or you could make your funeral into like a really cheesy infomercial or a motivational speaker. So the guy comes out like, hey, who knew Jason Jones here? Who knew Brian White? Well, let me tell you something about that. And they have like the board and
Never get in a car with both of them at the same time.
Right. Yeah. And he's got like the microphone coming around, and then he has people come up. And
I think it would be nice. You know what I just thought of for, we have a birthday party coming up May 1st. You're invited, by the way. You know, instead of hiring a clown, you know what we should do? We should hire a faith healer.
yeah.
That's what I should do is at my funeral have them bring in a faith healer, because do you want to end up like Brian did?
Yeah. And I don't want like a normal, like faith healer. I want like a cult faith healer, like from a really shady cult.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because then you also get the added benefit of weird sex stuff.
Right. And he's going to be more expensive, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. All right. So that's a good overview of, you know, I think what we'll do is pause it here and maybe come back in a half hour with a list of songs that we could play. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Or we could just put it in post.
Except that a lot of people don't watch and only listen.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
so,
true. I forgot. That's why I need to keep talking in the microphone, like right
Talking
here.
into the microphone.
Just like they do on all the radio shows.
What I like to do is fucking elbow the mic stand, because that makes for a great sound.
Clunk.
Mm-hmm.
It's digital. You can take it out now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's Last Will and Testament for this week.
Yes. Sayonara.